Conversations Unleashed, family. How are y'all doing? I am so glad that you tuned in, that you took the time to click this episode. Shout out to our Apple team and shout out to the Spotify team. Shout out to the YouTube people. Y'all been leaving comments there, leaving stuff on TikTok. I appreciate y'all so much. Thank you for working through the concept with the microphone last time. I'm so sorry. Y'all know I'm so sorry. I believe in operating in excellence, but I have upgraded the equipment so I can make sure I keep delivering for you. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. It is a lovely Tuesday. The end of July is here. Y'all, I'm 35. But the end of July is here. And school is about to start for people. In fact, last week I was in San Antonio, Texas. Shout out to my elementary family there. I was in Breckenridge, Colorado. Shout out to all the administrators and leaders and human resource officers and people there. It has been so good connecting with people in person, right? And now it's that time of the year. It's that time of the year. So be on the lookout. I'm about to start fueling y'all with more motivation, more strategies and things like that, because I know that we all are gearing up to get back into the school. And as you can see from today's title, it says, I am not ready yet. It's almost time to go back to school. We are going to, in this episode, prep you for a different mindset. And I'm going to be bold. I'm going to say some very edgy and catchy things because I did a speech in 2022 where I highlighted to people things that were going to come and happen, and nobody listened to me, y'all. Well, maybe some people listened to me, but I'm going to do a series on my social media pages called I Told You So, right? And I'm going to play some of those clips back from that time because I was telling people AI and the change in things that's coming is going to shift some things, and you can tell people were dragging their feet. But now that we're going into the year of 2025 and 2026, my 13th year teaching, and I declare, in Jesus' name, it's going to be one of my best years yet for me and you. I do think there's a certain mindset and perspective you need to take if you are going to be an incredible leader during this time. We cannot approach this school year the same way. All right. We cannot approach this school year the same way. So it's important for us to be proactive, and we want to make sure we get into that. So get ready, get your coffee, turn the volume up, get on that treadmill, get some water, some tea, and let's go and have a great time. Cut the lights on inside of my classroom, y'all. So let's get into this. School is back in session, right? For some people, they're already reporting back. I have some friends that are training people. And the question is, am I ready? And y'all, I like to be honest with y'all. No, I am not ready, right? I think people underestimate how hard teachers work. Right. I think they just look at the summertime as we're out here having fun and going to vacation. Y'all, some teachers are barely getting paid during the summertime. Right. So oftentimes I'm not always ready to go back into school. And I found out the best way to help me get ready is, truthfully be told, I take the time to do nothing. Therapy has taught me that even doing nothing is still being productive. Rest is productive. And I take that time to reset everyone because it is important to understand that when you're prepping to go back into the line of work that we do, especially as an educator, your nervous system, your body, and your thoughts are all over the place. That is why when you normally notice, if you take a break, spring break or vacation, your body is struggling because it's still so used to getting up and your nerves are flowing. So what I do know is that I feel like this year is going to be so different in education. And that is because I did some research, and we talked about the big, beautiful bill and tariffs and stuff before, but y'all, they put $6 billion on hold for schools in July. And certain schools have been cutting funding, freezing their budgets. I know for me, there's been some speeches that are not going to go through with this year because they have frozen their whole budget for the district, which impacts me and my mission helping teachers and students. And then I think about people after school programs and so much and so forth. This year is already shaping up with the level of adversity, and we ain't even started yet. We haven't even started yet. And even though this person, whoever is calling me right now, I don't even know, probably my student trying to play some Roblox. Y'all, I think that there's a certain way that we can address this year. I think there's a certain way that we can go and about like being proactive and making it still a good year with all the headwinds that are coming our way. Right? So I want to go and start with this because it's a different perspective. If you've heard me speak before, you know I talk about the the audacity to believe. That was the last speech. And that speech was based on the movie 300 because we are a small group of people, educators trying to fight this good fight for humanity, but all of the adversity is against us right now, right? And I want to make this bold statement to you because I wrote it down in my notes and I want to say this clearly, okay? Check this out. I believe this, okay? I believe with the cutting of funding mixed in with the beginning stages of AI, this is about to change the world's landscape drastically. That AI will be more than just a chat box, that we are right now at this point in time witnessing a revolutionary moment. And with cutting of budgets, with the advancement of AI, it is definitely starting to switch things. When trillion-dollar companies are pouring money into this research, they call it CapEx spending, where they spend money to develop and grow their companies by investing into research and new technology. When they're putting billions of dollars into AI, this lets me know that this thing's gonna change the job market forever, right? And when you add the companies putting that in, the budget cuts, stuff being cut from schools in regards to funding and things like that, we can say that that means trouble for people in society, trouble for the kids that we serve. What do I mean by this? If they're cutting funding for schools to empower students and train teachers, they're spending more money on training AI and developing it quicker. That does mean things are shifting, that the job market is shifting, that the economy is shifting. And the question is, how will you adjust? Now, when I teach fourth grade, I talk to them about the three basic classes of people: upper class, lower class, middle. Of course, there's more to that, but people are approaching it differently. The upper class, everybody, you know what they're doing? They're investing into AI. They're leveraging their networks. They're trying their best to figure out how can we make sure this best benefits us, right? The middle class, we're trying to figure out how to save and get things done in this society and make sure that our jobs are safe, right? Let's not forget about those that have federal jobs and their jobs were cut, right? Then you have the lower class that are struggling and fighting through poverty and inflation, and all these things are building up. And if you ask me, it is creating this mega problem that I don't think we're prepared for. Because I told my students, and if you pay attention to it, most McDonald's and most grocery stores are now going to the point where it is digital. The human interaction boils down to people that are coming to bring you your food and etc. And as I sit back as a man, as a brother, a son, as an educator, as a businessman, I'm seeing how it's shaping up. And I can almost see how, if we're not careful, the advancement of these budget cuts and them putting money more into wealthier people's pockets and businesses, the cutting of fundings to schools where we're supposed to enrich our kids, it is going to start wiping classes of people out. So as we go into the year of 2025 and 2026, I know that was a broad picture for you, but I had to draw it in because I need you to understand that how can we approach education in this new playing field? This is not the 1990s. This is not the year 2000s or 2010. In 1990s, I remember going to school and we just had the smartboard come out, and there was a different type of time then. Now we are playing on a different court. During that time, it may have been a basketball court, a street court. Now we're playing more like on a dirt court or grass court, and we can't use the same strategies then and try to use them now. It's not going to work. So today's podcast, I want to talk to you from about 5 different perspectives: students, teachers, admin, parents, and community. And how can we, going into this school year, come closer together and have the right approach for this school year? I'm going to even teach my students differently this school year. And I'm going to lay this out for you. And hopefully today you gain something from it as you're listening, and maybe it sparks an idea in yourself to go figure some things out, because we already know that education isn't the most valued institution in America. And how can I make a bold statement like that? Well, you go look at where people give their money to, right? And that should let you know what they value the most. But what I do believe is the work that we do in raising our communities and helping these kids is a very pivotal thing, an important thing. And 10 years from now, when my nieces and nephews and students are watching these episodes and y'all look back at Mr. Bonner at 35, when I'm gonna be 45 then, I want people to say, you know what, he said something. He said something, he sort of saw how it was changing. So let's get into this. Let's talk about, from each demographic, The students, the teachers, the admin, the parents and community. How can we make sure this school year is one of the best school years ever? The first thing to students, this is what I would tell you. If I was a student right now, y'all, and going into this time, I would think, especially third and fourth, all the way up to high school, I will retrain my mind on what the purpose of school is, right? School is deeper than just passing an assessment, even though we make it all about testing sometimes. School is deeper than the nicest drip that you got on. Hey, kids, truth be told, nobody really cares about the clothes you have on when you get older, right? Nobody really pays attention to your drip. We care more about your assets and your connections and your net worth and all the things like that. So if I'm a child, I'm not thinking about trying to impress my friends, right? Even though it's tough with peer pressure, because I once was a teenager, I'm thinking about my purpose of school. And you know what I would do if I was a student this year? The first things I'll be working on, two things. I will be working on enhancing my critical thinking skills and learning how to have incredible social skills. And what do I mean by this? The jobs that our babies are going for and thinking about they're going to have in the next 5 to 10 years probably won't even be there. Let that sink in, y'all. The jobs that our kids think they are going to college and school for may not even be there in the next 5 to 10 years. So what is the purpose of school? If you ask me, it's the place to learn the place to go where you can become mentally sharper. It's the place you go where you learn how to interact with different people and learn about different cultures so that when you go into society, you can be that much more effective. And I think that is going to be the gold mine because, for example, jobs that will be eliminated. For example, there was a time that there was an elevator man that would control the elevator for you. That job doesn't exist anymore. But if that elevator man had incredible social skills, networking, greeting the people that was coming onto the elevator, I'm sure he had a job somewhere, right? If I'm a child, I'm thinking about that. If I'm a student, I'm thinking about that. I'm trying to be the best reader that I possibly can be. Because even though AI may solve the math problems for me, I still need to be able to comprehend what the AI is spitting back out to me and be able to write effectively a helpful prompt. Okay? So if I'm a student, I'm thinking differently about school. Hands down. I'm thinking differently about school. But now let's go into teachers, because I'm an educator, right? And I thank God for being a teacher. I will tell you this. Michael Bonner in 2025, I believe all educators at some point will eventually transition from just being a teacher to now a guide. Hear me. Since AI is developing and moving quickly, it can spit out information faster than I've ever seen. Ron Clark has an incredible memory. Corey Collins can spit off vocabulary words and synonyms and antonyms like it's nothing. Pamela Haskins is a monster. Susan Barnes and CJ Wallace and Hardin and Thompson and all my coworkers are brilliant. But AI is simply faster and it doubles every 6 months. So I can see in the future, 5 to 10 years from now, because London's already doing it, China's already doing it, where there will be classrooms where the kids are operating on AI on the computer, but that's not for the whole day. The teacher will therefore transition from just being a teacher to now you are a facilitator. That is why I try to tell every educator and every leader that in your classroom and space, you are like the DJ. You are the chef, and you are creating an environment and curating a type of energy where learning should take place at. And now that AI is here, you bet your bottom dollar the districts will eventually invest in the technologies. It's capitalism. Someone will sell a program to us, and we're going to have to be able to facilitate the learning environment. Whether that looks like we're doing a team building activity for 30 minutes. Okay, kids, for an hour, you work on your reading. All right, kids, let's go outside for recess and check on the garden that we've built to work on produce and agriculture. Now let's go to lunch. The school model's gonna look completely different for us. This school year, I'm thinking about how can I be the best guide in Bonneville in my classroom, right? Now let's go to admin, who I love. Shout out to all administrators. Y'all are the real deal. I could not be a leader of a school. I like being a leader of my classroom. Every admin or leader, superintendent needs great teachers. That's why I'm here. I would challenge you to say this year that pedagogy is important, teaching strategies are important, taking care of behavior is important. But I would like to go as far as to say that climate and culture is going to be so critical this year. Administrators barely have teachers to hire. Think about that, family. Listen to me. Come on. Right now in the United States of America, there are principals that have to hire someone that did not go to school to be an educator because nobody wants to go inside of education. for a plethora of reasons. So to the administrators, we praying for you. And I would challenge you, one of the things I love about working here, it is hard work working at the Ron Clark Academy. Do not get it twisted. Do not get it twisted. But what I do love is that our leaders root themselves in this one thing. Let's make magical moments. If we want to have fun, if we want to be here, let's be here. And that determination too, let's make this moment powerful. Let's have fun. Make sure the climate and culture is at least positive to get things done in. It saves the day. So admin, with y'all getting budget cuts, lack of hiring for teachers, families needing things in this economy, now more than ever is the perfect time to make sure that your staff is on board. And that I'm going to develop a new portion of my speech called That Person, to make sure that there are staff members that are not being that person, the negative person, the person that's putting water into the ship, knowing goodness well ships don't sink because they're in water. They sink because water is being put into the ship. So in this time, more than ever, leaders, you got to make sure you're paying attention to who's putting water inside of your ships, who's bringing that negativity in, and be firm with them and firm in your organizations, firm in your culture to make sure that they stop doing that. That's why with new expectations in my speech, I have this quote that I talk about. We have to stop letting people slide with disrespect and bringing down cultures and bringing down organizations. Because I tell them, if you keep letting people slide, they're going to think you're a playground. And baby, you ain't nobody to play with. So this time, admin, let's switch some things up. That's a message for everybody. We talk to the students, we talk to the teachers, we talk to admin. Now let's talk about parents. Parents. Hey, I love y'all. You are entrusting your children, your most prized possession, to us. And y'all have so much hell going on in y'all personal lives, from making sure the bills are met and making sure that you are good mentally and making sure that you're getting rest, and let alone your children. And what I want to challenge you this year is, one, to let you know that parents are the first teachers. That's just what it is. You all are bringing your children to us, and we build off of the ingredients that you give us. And what I want you to understand this year, parents, how can we partner together? If you're a parent watching this to see this, there are good teachers and bad teachers, the same way there's good doctors, bad doctors, good parents, bad parents, all across the board. But I would like to challenge to you is this: how can you work in a symbiotic relationship to make sure your kid is getting the best academic experience possible? And it's not going to happen by attacking each other, because right now everyone is hurting. People are living paycheck to paycheck. Even people that make six figures are living paycheck to paycheck. Funding is being cut. Families are breaking up. We know when times get harder, it puts more strain on relationships and friendships. And if those relationships and friendships were already built on a shaky foundation, they're probably going to break. So what can you do this school year? Work together. Communication and documentation is everything. Is everything this year. And I want to challenge you with that, parents. You know, when you communicate and document together, I've had some incredible parents over these 13 years of me teaching, and it's been great because the best ones were those that will communicate if something's going on in the crib. I know how to approach the kid, right? I know how to have love and grace for that child. And I think that's going to be a saving grace this year. Parents, we need y'all. Hey, parents, we need y'all. We need y'all. We're blessed here at the Ron Clark Academy. Shout out to all the amazing parents that have been here and that are going to come and that are still here. But in other areas in the world, parents, these teachers, we need y'all. Whether it is to make sure your kid is knowing that they're loved, or to check a behavior, or just to let you know that you're doing an incredible job raising an incredible kid, we need you. The last one, though, is community. If you listen to this podcast, you may not be a principal, you may not be a student, you may not be a parent or a teacher, but you're a part of the community. And I tell people all the time, if America wants to remain a superpower, we must invest inside of education, because every other country is doing it. China, they're already showing 6-year-olds how to work with AI. London, they already have classrooms with no teacher. AI is running the classroom. So in a way, we're sort of behind because some states banned ChatGPT when it first came out. So community is critical. Even if you don't have a child going to that school, I guarantee this school year, kids need supplies. There's kids that will need food, basic clothes, back to school things. That's why I love being a part of the Emerging 100. Here in Atlanta, we serve the best academy and surrounding colleges, and we're going through mentorship and pouring into these spaces to make sure these kids have what they need so that when they go through school this year, they can be the best version of themselves. So therefore, we can have a better community and a better nation. That won't happen if community doesn't step in. That's why I also like here at the Ron Clark Academy, Ron Clark and Kim Bearden called it a community school because we're a nonprofit. We can't run without the donations of people. And what I want to challenge you with today is, how can you as a community leader step in? How can you as a community business owner say, you know what, I want to take this tax write-off and I want to give $1,000 or $500 to this local school because they are short on supplies this year due to budget cuts inside of the government and things that are happening. This podcast, everyone, is a call to myself, to you, and whatever title you fall into, whether it's a teacher, staff member, admin, parent, community leader. Y'all, our future is being affected right now. We haven't expected technology to advance this fast and this quickly. And we didn't expect funding to be cut in certain places. It took about 30 years for us to transition from horses to the Model T Ford. It took about 10 to 15 years to go from dial-up internet to Wi-Fi. AI has already moved quickly in 2 years. If you can see how cell phones, cars have changed our world, imagine what that's going to do. And it's changing the landscape of education. And as we prep for this school year, we all have a job we have to do. And I really believe, y'all, that we can do something powerful together. I do. I don't think it's going to be easy, but I've learned in life when things get rough, family and community and love and God and therapy and support, man, we can make it through this. So let's do it. Let's do it together this year. Let's partner together this year. Right? I'm helping in my local community in Atlanta. I want to reach back out to Paquimins County, where I'm from. Meade Elementary, shout out to y'all. I told them if they move from an F school and graduate from that, I'm flying back to San Antonio next year and going to throw them a party. We all have a job we have to do. And let's figure out going into this new school year in our own respective spaces, how can we do that with excellence? Not perfection, but excellence. I love y'all. If no one has told you that this week, I love you. Okay? I hope you're doing well. I hope you're taking care of yourself. Y'all know from our last talk, with It's on the Way, we talked about that all of us are ticking time bombs. And y'all, you're walking around people that if just one more thing happens, they're going to lose it. And I've been this person before, probably force someone to lose it. Don't be the person. Don't be that person that makes someone lose their cool. Be a person that's encouraging and loving. And let's make this school year, a good year. I'll make sure I talk to y'all soon. And I have some really good, fun, upcoming things coming for this podcast, y'all. I can't wait. It's some stuff that's going to keep it spicy and going and beautiful. But I am committed to being here with you. I am committed to showing up for you with this podcast. I love you. Take care. And I'll talk to you soon. Peace. Oh, I can't forget, y'all. Never forget. Legacy over likes. Take care.